Welcome those people who've just arrived. We're going to get into it straight away. And we've got about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Is that right? We'll be finished definitely by 10. Is there anyone who needs to be finished before that? We can adjust it.
Tom, you've got to be asleep by what, 9 or something?
Yeah, that's okay. Look, that should be the latest. Hopefully a bit before that. We'll just see how we're travelling. It's actually a large group to do what we're going to do tonight, but I've got a really strong sense, and it's more of an intuitive thing, that we still have to do it as one group tonight and not break up. And sometimes we can break up into smaller groups and then eventually come back into one big group. And tonight we're not going to do that. So it will mean probably a little bit more listening as a result. And for some people that could be a challenge to actually be listening. The key advantage, of course, tonight, if you really do listen and apply it to yourself, you're going to learn so much wisdom about every person playing. And that's the exciting part about tonight. For those, again, who have just arrived, and for those who were here before and haven't played before, I really want to congratulate you for being here. This is a really exciting night because we're all going to get to know each other by the end of tonight in a way that you're going to be really surprised about. The interesting thing, as I also said before, that this is a really safe game. So those of you who are a bit nervous about what might come up here, the process of this game is for you to give as much or as little as you feel comfortable about. In actual fact, technically, if you read the rule book, if you choose a card and you don't like that, you can actually choose another card. And my challenge tonight is that everyone keeps that card and will read it. But that's the challenge for you. But technically that's there. And occasionally people do take that up. So I just want you to be comfortable about whatever comes up. And I also said, I want you to extend your own comfort zone without pushing it over. That's really the idea, and have fun tonight while we learn about each other. There are 3 things that are going to occur tonight. The first is we're going to learn, as I said before, to really listen to each other. And that doesn't happen too often, does it? We get to really listen to each other. We're going to learn to speak more authentically than probably what you have, especially when you're with some strangers, and just open up and come from your heart space. And we're giving you permission here to be really honest. And some people in the past didn't know what that looked like. We've had people who have played this game that think they have to make up a story because it's a game, and they live the whole life as a story. So this is a chance for you to be as authentic as you want to be and just be yourself, and that's great.
Without judgment of anyone.
And the beauty of this is there can't be judgment, because part of the rules is that whenever you speak, no one is going to comment on what you say. This game implies that no one in this room needs fixing. All right? And the way we do that, and there's a really simple rule of doing it, is when you speak, we're going to speak using I statements. So, for example, for me, this means that I don't say, we all need to do this. Right? And I used to have this habit, like, we all need to meditate. I need to meditate. Can you hear the difference in the vibration of that? That makes a huge difference, not only in the vibration for the person speaking, but it makes a real difference in everyone else saying, oh yeah, I could meditate too. Because when everyone says to me, you need to meditate, what do I say? No, I don't.
Jack off.
So, as much as possible, I would like people to stick with that. I'm asking permission, because part of the rules is we don't interrupt each other. Now, I'm asking permission as a facilitator that we need to finish by a certain time. And if people get caught on yous and we's and all that, I may pick it up. I might let some people go. If they're a bit shy and they're speaking for the first time, I'm not going to jump on them because they've snuck a you in. They've opened up for the first time. But someone like a Naya who's used to speaking, she says one you or we, well,
that's it. I'm in trouble.
She's in trouble.
We'll play on you, girl. Don't muck up.
So, and look, it's quite remarkable because I've done this. I've played over 1,000 games, and I can still be caught with this, and I can still sneak myself into something I'm really passionate about. But it's okay. I get permission to interrupt people if I need to as a facilitator. Is that all right with everyone?
Definitely.
Oh, thank you. Okay. And also, if I interrupt you because of time constraints, it's not what you're saying is boring. It's just that we need to keep things moving. So I'm just letting you know now that everything that you say is interesting. There are
Yes,
tissues
I'm
handy.
I'll be ready for you, Princess. You'll be fine.
Cameron, can we put you on tissue duty? Would you like to do that?
Cheap tissue
Cameron.
Yes.
Can you just grab my
You may have to stuff them in my mouth because remember I'm not allowed to talk. That's the hard.
Can you just grab my spectacles are behind that picture
Oh,
frame?
there's a man who's
You know,
Cameron now,
thank
no.
you.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have you ever?
Look, so let's go through the process. We're going to move fairly quickly and recognise with such a large group, you know, we need to keep the answers maybe 1-2 minutes per person until we keep this going. There are 3 cycles of this game. It's a collaborative board game. There is no individual winner. So for those people who are trying to work out how do I win this game,
Already.
we are all winners in this game already just by being here. So look, I'm really excited. I want to get started. Is anyone else?
Let's
you know,
get it.
Let's do it.
Go for it. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, in actual fact, we save time. Normally we choose one of these cards to see what aspect we've got. But I'm going to shortcut that because in the interest of time, we're just going to hand these out in a moment. And when I hand them out, what's going to happen in a moment is we're all going to introduce ourselves. And we're going to introduce ourselves through this aspect of life. So what you're going to do is, if you've got humour, for example, I would say my name is Barry. All right. My aspect is humour. And for me, humour means. So we just introduce your name, your aspect, and what humour means for you. Now, to help you, there's some dot points there that you can use all, some, or none of them. All right. Now, the only hard task you have to do the whole night is when you get your card, you slot A into slot B like that, and you have it sitting there
I
like
can't believe it's a black pack.
Now, as I said, I've done this over
Is there an
1,000
easier way of
times.
doing
That's the humour.
As I said, I've done this over 1,000 times. There's only been one person who couldn't do that. And that person was in charge of the education department.
This goes to show how we all work differently, doesn't it?
And I just thought that was quite amusing, actually. So we're going to start. Look, so we'll go this way. And so when you get it, put it together and start thinking about what that card means for you tonight. Now,
We've already done this once. No space, please.
Yeah, don't be sure.
you've got 9 of spades on your brain
Yeah, should be
tonight.
dreaming. That's
So
interesting.
just take one fairly quickly. We're going
You
to
got
keep this moving.
there's hard ass on the right here. These girls are
If you
good.
guys want to take one,
they're
on
all
your
talkers, so
That one.
You've got the exact one. Recognise you will get the exact card that you need, not what
watch
you
me
want.
water there too, Barry. Sorry.
That's, thank you. Appreciate that.
I don't want you to feel the grief.
I sort of feel like I don't want to break it, and yet
Oh,
I have to bend it in order to.
We're not supposed to bend it.
Oh, that's supposed to go the other way. I should be in charge of an education department somewhere. Because I couldn't do it. Someone had to tell me.
Rest and relaxation.
So what's interesting about this game is you'll find as we go through that you will get the cards that you need whether you know it or not. And there's no right or wrong. So if you don't know why you've got this particular card, that's okay too. You're actually able to say, I've got no idea why I've got this.
Yeah.
You don't have to make something up. And so part of this process is recognising we've all got the exact cards that we need. So the idea is you show the big side faces the group and you've got the little dot points to yourself, facing yourself. Maybe we all just put them on our laps like that.
Headbands.
Yeah, we always...
It's already evolving.
Yeah. No, we actually had someone who did that. Again, that was a person who was really uncomfortable and they sat there like this. And so I talked about inappropriate humour in the group. Thanks, Anaya. And the guy went,
It's my card.
Give us a killjoy.
He's saying no, this is me. This is me.
okay, so what we're going to do, the key process is now we're going to get started. And the temptation is to start having individual conversations, and we're going to avoid that. And we're really going to pay attention to whoever's speaking. All right, this is part of what this process is about. Whoever's speaking, we pay attention. So we're going.
Hello, my name's Anaya and I have physical environment, and this is so perfect for me because one of the points on this card is we are all connected, and I have this absolute passion. I work in radio, and I have this absolute passion about helping us all to remember our own magnificence. And as we remember our magnificence, we will then see it in others quite naturally. So this is really perfect for me, and I'm really excited to get this. And I guess for me also, it just is an additional validation about the dreams I have, the plans I have, and what I'm doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kerry, and I've got talents and abilities. This is actually very good for me. Also, this has come up as I'm exploring more and opening to expressing more of my talents and abilities in areas, and one of them obviously is on the radio as well, but in speaking to people, but also helping inspire other people, seeing their own talents and abilities that they have, and inspiring them. So I really enjoy doing that. That actually gives me a lot of joy to be able to facilitate that and see that in myself as well. So yeah, great.
Can you recognise when people are speaking? I can relate to all of those already. So again, just a reminder as you listen, recognise how you can start applying all this to yourself, because it's going to come into it.
Hi guys, I'm Lisa. I have unconditional love, and this is my absolute prayer for myself, that this runs through everything. Nothing else exists. Nothing else exists. And to have this, like you, it feels like an affirmation of my truth, which is there's nothing, no health condition, no money issue, no conflict, no feeling of separation from God, no, there's nothing that can't be healed with this. And my absolute belief is that we're all connected, and that at our core, everybody's core, this is the truth. This is our true experience. It's our true nature. It's our true fundament. And as I experience enough of this, every other being in my presence gets to experience this forever. Amen.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Marie. I have education, which is really appropriate because I'm very much into re-educating myself and others, just setting up a few new things, including some training programs, and it's really about unlearning and remembering who we are and the essence of who we are, which is unconditional love, as far as I'm concerned, and helping people get off the path of fear and getting back onto the path of love. That's pretty well it for me.
Yeah, my name's Tom, and mine is rest and relaxation. I'm not 200% sure where this got, but maybe it's because I love sleeping. And I think rest and relaxation is important, to take time out and reflect on yourself, and to just just chill out a bit. Stuff gets a bit stressful.
Good. My name's Cameron, mine is health. Now this really resonates with me at the moment, because I suppose it hits home fairly strongly, because I'm an obsessive compulsive person, and I suppose my obsession is work, and of course I let everything go. As work comes first, everything else falls apart. So, you know, whether it's relationships, family, everything else, but one of the major issues is my health, and I had a health scare last year where I lost 13 kilos in 2 weeks. And I got overactive thyroid, my heart nearly, and it gave me a life scare for about a month, put the weight back on, then went back into the obsessive compulsive. So, and with that I work to the max, I play to the max, I drink to the max, everything I do is in obsession. So I think it's very appropriate. And it's time for me to reflect, slow down, and smell the roses. And part of that also too, it says recovery in the mind, body, spirit connection. Of course, you girls know I'm involved with the spiritual movement. As much as I love to encourage it, I like to take part in it myself. And I think a major part for me is that I have to learn to sit back and smell the roses, or what they say is get the mind, body, spirit connection, take deep breaths,